today's debate on this unrest, which is the product of the oppositions in collusion connivance with other parties to make the state unrest. Just at the timing of Bangladesh unrest, Waqf bill has been introduced and an amendment bill has been introduced.
Thank you. Yes, go ahead, please.
I was saying, Anand, this perfidy was entirely predictable, that people are now shifting the goalposts, and rather than talk about the pogrom that is happening right before our eyes against Hindus, they're kind of justifying it, rationalizing it, because it's been kick-started by the Waqf. Fact of the matter is, Hindus are lynched, scores seriously injured, Hindu property burned, destroyed, hundreds of Hindus forced into fleeing for their lives and becoming refugees in their own land. Welcome to a republic where mob strength comes from an appeasing and cowardly state, where the inevitable vacuum that is created when justice and rule of law whooshes away is filled at once by anarchy and bloodshed.
BJP has also posted West Bengal CM's response on the Waqf law in the assembly. Listen to this.
যে অশ্লীল কথা বলছেন একটা ধর্মের নামে এত কুৎসা করছেন একটা অপপ্রচার করছেন একদিন তারা যদি একটা আন্দোলনের ডাক দেয় আপনি নিজেকে সামলে রাখতে পারবেন তো
If they call for an agitation, will you be able to control yourself? This is what Mamata Banerjee was heard saying on the floor of the house. It is not Mamata Banerjee alone. Leaders like Imran Masood and Jharkhand minister fear-mongering over the Waqf law. Congress MP Imran Masood said newly amended Waqf law will be repealed if his party comes back to power. 60 minutes mein kar denge is what he has said. Jharkhand minister Hafizul Hasan Ansari has been heard saying Shariat first and then Samvidhan. Let's go across to our guests on this and take this whole conversation forward. Are radicals deliberately attempting to subvert Bharat is the question that we are asking. Charu Pragya, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Saira Shah Halim, leader of the CPIM, with us. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, commentator and scientist, with us. Wonder what science behind this mayhem and madness in Bengal, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. But first up, Shabnam De. You know Shabnam De, if I may ask you, just start, after this it's the panelists who will speak. The immovable properties in Murshidabad district, 94.72% is agricultural land. Only 5.28% of Waqf land in Murshidabad is physical properties. And of this, mosques, dargahs, graveyards will be taken away karke daraya. It's only 3%, ma'am. 3% of the Waqf land in Murshidabad is mosques, dargahs and graveyards. 95% of it is agricultural land. So who's fear-mongering? Who's telling them that तुम्हारी जमीनें छिन जाएंगी, मस्जिद दरगाह छिन जाएंगे? Shabnam De.
Thank you for inviting me to today's debate on this unrest, which is the product of the oppositions in collusion connivance with other parties to make the state unrest. Just at the timing of Bangladesh unrest, Waqf bill has been introduced and an amendment bill has been introduced, and our Trinamool Congress chairperson already has stated that some political parties are trying to misuse this religion for political gain. They trying to showcase like Bangladesh as Sheikh Hasina, that Mamata Banerjee will be dismantled. That cannot be happen because this is West Bengal, this is not Bangladesh. And why this authorized amendment, Waqf amendment bill has been introduced by the central, by PM? What is the fear in that? That is also diabolical political fears for that to gain this power in Bengal soil. That is very difficult for them. Whether it is 3% or agricultural land, Waqf lands are all in the name of Allah, which has been given in the trust, but sometimes by donation, sometimes by through of conveyance of trust in name of Allah. So this is the very sentimental and very soft points to be actually not only discussed and debated and nurtured through a committee heading with all chief minister. But this was not done. On the contrary, it has been done in a very hottest with an autocracy, and that is the ruling that yes, autocracy, and that is the meant that we are in the power. We can make any sort of amendment in the midnight, and no opposition can make that oppose to that bill. So,
Okay, 1 minute. Dr. Ranganathan has been patient. Dr. Ranganathan, from the times of the left, to the current times, this allowing unbridled immigration of illegal immigrants into Bengal and allowing them to settle. Is this what we are seeing here in Murshidabad? And the Murshidabad MP is a cricketer, former cricketer, who came all the way from Gujarat to dislodge a Congress veteran.
Yeah. Good evening, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Well, this perfidy, there is no other way to describe it, was entirely predictable. People are on the
Saraji, you're not audible. Please, let's try not to speak over each other. He did not speak all this while. Please allow him the courtesy, ma'am. Let Anand Ranganathan speak. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes, go ahead, please.
I was saying, Anand, this perfidy was entirely predictable. That people are now shifting the goalposts, and rather than talk about the pogrom that is happening right before our eyes against Hindus, they're kind of justifying it, rationalizing it, because it's been kick-started by the Waqf and the so-called discrimination that this government has meted out. The fact of the matter is, can anybody tell me, did Bindan Das or Chandan Das, the two father and son who were lynched by a Muslim mob, know anything about Waqf? Can anybody tell me how far will you take this action-reaction theory? Because you use the same action-reaction theory to justify the Nagpur riots, because you said people incited the mob by burning an effigy of Aurangzeb. You justified this action-reaction theory by saying that the bomb blasts of 1993 were justified because they followed the riots that happened against Muslims. But then when it comes to Godhra, you suddenly gobble up this action-reaction theory. You don't say that the anti-Muslim riots were a result of the 59 car sevaks who were burnt. Then what happens? This is the problem with such illogical and irrational people. Rather than talking about the tragedy that is happening, I did not interrupt, and this is very unbecoming. This is a hallmark of being rattled. When people try and disturb your train of thought because they're so rattled, because their hypocrisy is being exposed. I did not say, can I please continue, because I need by 2.5 minutes, a very serious topic, and this needs to be said. Can I please be given the courtesy of 2.5 minutes, Anand?
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. The fact of the matter is, Hindus are lynched, scores seriously injured, Hindu property burned, destroyed, hundreds of Hindus forced into fleeing for their lives and becoming refugees in their own land. Welcome to a republic where mob strength comes from an appeasing and cowardly state, where the inevitable vacuum that is created when justice and rule of law whooshes away is filled at once by anarchy and bloodshed. Welcome to a republic where Hindus are being made to choose between suffering one who is powerless to act and another who is acting powerless. Made to choose between one who has turned a blind eye and another who is pretending to be blind. Welcome to the Islamic Republic of India, where when you look right, there's a mob with Molotovs in hand glaring down at you. When you look left, there are intellectuals and academics itching to cancel and deprive you of your livelihood. Where when you look up, there's an effigy of yours swaying gently from a cable, and where when you look down, there's a freshly dug trench smelling of damp earth waiting for you to fall in, right next to where you and thousands have collected as refugees in their own land. Fifth time, Anand, in 5 years in Bengal, Diamond Harbour, Birbhum, Nadia, 24 Parganas, Murshidabad, when Hindus have had to flee their homes in thousands become refugees. You watched the first time, and now you are made to watch every time. Welcome. This is not our future. This is now our present. And resistance is futile, submission is inevitable. Anand, we are an army of men and we can only follow, never lead like a one-man army. So there will be no more brave gurus, no more Banda Bahadurs or Shivajis. We are the sheep being led by Mahatmas or those who want to become Mahatmas to the slaughterhouse where la guillotine awaits. And as you wait for your turn, you can hear its distant rumble and then snap. Anand, remember 2 years ago wherein Town after town, Delhi, Ranchi, Ludhiana, Prayagraj, Saharanpur, in state after state, Bengal, Maharashtra, Punjab, UP, there were reports of widespread arson and rioting and attacks. The sounds of azan were subsumed by the chants of Sartan Se Juda. Scores were killed, and for what? Outrage over a Hindu quoting Islamic scriptures. What has changed? You may hate his guts, but Akbaruddin Owaisi was absolutely correct. The only thing that stands between Hindus and their total annihilation in this state is the police. Remove it for 15 minutes and it's all over. Anand, they say the darkest hour is before dawn. But where is the dawn? I want to ask Didi and her Albert Spears, how many Bengal stories will you hide? You hit the 2024 post-poll violence, the brazen attack on BJP voters, withholding of funds to districts that voted BJP, blocking their water supply. But then you also hit the 2021 post-poll violence, didn't you? The murderous attack on ED officials, the Ram Navami violence, arrest of doctors who complained of COVID mismanagement, jail for sharing Didi cartoons, slapping of UAPO on Bhangra activists, sedition charges on journalists, threats of stopping government ads, political murders, ethnic cleansing, alleged systemic sexual assault and torture of women in Sandesh Kali. Are you also going to hide the fleeing of hundreds of Hindus from Murshidabad? Just 30 seconds. How many acres of carpet would you need to hide all this? Remember TMC Sheikh Alam, who boasted that 4 Pakistan can be created if 30% Muslims come together? How long, Anand, before the slogans equivalent to Ralif, Salif, Galif are heard in Bengal like they were in Kashmir 30 years ago? Where are all those who accuse Modi of killing democracy at the drop of a hat? Where are they hiding? They keep saying we speak truth to power, truth to power. In reality, they speak truth only to Modi, not when those in power are Didi. Just 10 seconds. Go on then. Hide even this ethnic cleansing and attempted genocide. But when you sleep tonight, think of the wife of the lynched Har Gobind Das. Think of the son, Chandan Das, lynched because a mob wants to restore a discriminatory Waqf Act.